Hello there. My name is Dr. Akinshayola Tokumbaluko. Today we will be looking into the topic called Understanding the Impact of Emerging Technology in Operation Management of an Organization. Today we will be looking or probably on trying to get a picture on the definition of operation management and its importance to an organization, explaining the dynamics of operation management in today's technology oriented global business environment, the compatibility of emerging technologies in operation management, and also to reflect on the necessities of emerging technology in modern day business environment. First of all, let's look at the definitions or the understanding or ideas of operation management. Operation management, as defined by so many, can be seen as a significant integration of different systems or resources that helps or enhances the effective manufacturing of goods or services that helps in exceeding customers' expectation. This talks about how components or systems can be integrated together with or resources that can be that can be that can come together or synergize together to enhance effective manufacturing of goods and services in exceeding customers' expectation. Because if you're still talking about customer satisfaction in today's business environment, that might be as a setback. That might be seen as a setback. But now we need to see how we can exceed customers' expectation with the resources and capabilities that are available to an organization. It can also be seen as a guidance or a guide or support that sees to the overall direction of the organizational goals or company's goals. This can also be seen as the abilities and transformation of resources into finished goods. And when we are talking about the transformation, it comes from or it starts from the input. Input can be seen as resources. Different resources in the sense that we can be talking about capital, talking about land, we can be talking about financial resources, we talk about raw materials and the likes. Taking it into transformational process where it comes into that can be seen as internal. That will still be talked about later in this on this segment. And from the transformation process, we look also into the output section, whereby it goes out from after the transformation process or operational process, it goes to the output. That talks about the finished goods. What happens to the finished goods, and how does the finished goods get to our customers? Organizational operation management process. Let's look at it from this perspective. An organization or a company or an enterprise has different arms, or should I say different departments that makes up this organization. We're talking about the HR department, which handles the implementability of new talented employees, and how these employees can be trained, that sees to the motivations of these employees, that sees to the talent recruitment or talent enhancement of these employees. It also has the IT department, whereby things has gone digital these days. The organization that has not really conformed properly or synergized themselves with IT or information technology system or the digital world probably might be lacking behind within its industry. Because one, the industry has metamorphosized from what it was, from the traditional way of doing things, now to the digital world, from the digital world, whereby whereby things are being digitalized, saved in the cloud, and different kind of technology has taken over in enhancing, in trying to, improve the way goods and services are being delivered to the customers. We look into the finance. We also talk about how this finance, the IT, the information technology, and the HR are being synergized together in meeting and exceeding customers' expectation. We are all, in this sense, it shows the connectivity of all these segments, of all these systems coming together in enhancing competitive advantage of the organization. This can be seen in modern day enterprise or modern day organization. Organizations such as Google, Apple, Dangote, organizations such as Samsung and the likes. All these organizations, they put resources together in using these resources or systems in championing the market or trying to overpower, or let me use it this way, trying to dictate or project their competitive advantage within the industry they find themselves. Emerging technology. We can say emerging technology, we can see it as a game changer. A game changer in the sense that it has brought about the enhancement, it has brought about the improvement of what it was before, the traditional way of doing things. I'll call it more of disruptive innovation, whereby we infuse different kind of technology, such as cloud computing, such as robotics, such as information AI, which happens to be artificial intelligence that is being used to improve the human abilities these days. We can also see that yes, drones and all sort of technologies, new modern technologies, has been infused into organizations to champion, or should I say, to improve how service and goods are being delivered. The manufacturing of goods and services are being delivered to the customer. You can now see how a good example is whereby the manufacturing system is now probably using robotics to champion the cause of improving, or should I say, meeting the needs of its customers. We can also say emerging technology are used to collect or store and manage and analyze data, or in the interpretation of data in so many ways. These data that are being interpreted or being stored or collected are being reused for future purposes, are being reused to still be able to understand the kind of customer, the segmentation of customers, the way on how to improve the delivery of service and goods toward their customers. So organizations use this in so many ways. It can also be seen as a determinant factor when it comes to operational functions, such as the availability of resources, risk management, and market efficiency. Driving operational system or progression forward happens to be a key factor of using or imbibing emerging technology into operational, or should I say, manufacturing system. Technology contributed significantly, adds value to the operation management functionalities. In this sense, we talk about, let's look at it from this perspective, in the sense that we consider the impact of emerging technology on production outputs. Now, it's easy for anyone to transfer business here in London and still get good feedback from someone in Africa or China or South America. It depends on where the organization happens to have its partners. It even enhances the relationship of an organization and its partners, or should I say, organization and its stakeholder, when it comes to capital integration, knowledge integration, and to mention a few. So all these things are being, this component of technology are being, integrated into the production of goods and services, and it also enhances or strengthens the ability of strategic alliances. Looking at it from this angle, supply chain, from the angle of supply chain management, we're talking about external supply chain and internal. It's just like upstream, midstream, and downstream. But considering the external supply chain uh, department, or should I say section, which looks into the suppliers on how raw materials are being gotten from the suppliers to the organization, whereby we're talking about purchasing, we're talking about the production system, the distribution system or channel, and likewise the marketing, and at the end of the day, how it gets to the customers. It can be seen as the expansion of supply chain management, whereby the internal supply chain and the external are being synergized together in getting a meaningful output. The role of emerging technology in supply chain management, using the oil and gas industry as a yardstick. Within the oil and gas industry, there has been a significant uh, evolvement, whereby I won't call it I will call it, let's call it transformation, whereby we're talking about efficiency. We look at how demand and supply are being met, data mining, analytics and management, the reduction of risk when it comes to oil extraction and production, the value created when it comes to how organization helps in adding value to what is being produced and what is being, sold out to the customers or to their prospective clients. It talks about standardization. It talks about how standardization has helped reduce and improve risk assessment, cost of manpower reduction, accuracy and competitive advantage. It has also helped in research and development because one, the impact of research and development in the oil and gas has actually changed the level playing field, whereby organizations see different aspects on how to extract, or should I say tap, oil from the source. And looking at it, a good example is a fracking. A good example, another example can also be seen as, in this sense, that whereby oil and gas organizations have actually created a very strong partnership based on synergizing resources and capabilities with with organizations on the upstream, midstream, and the downstream. This has made a more sensible oil and gas industry in the last 10 years. The future of operation management using emerging technology. The future is quite bright for, let me use the oil and gas industry. It helps create a very meaningful future of operation management from a different perspective, which has actually been debated, and research are actually going on presently on that. And this happens to come back to a more reflective understanding. Looking at it from this perspective, how does organization of today choose and discuss how emerging technology. They try to see how they can improve on emerging technology, on disruptive innovation, in contributing, or shall I say, in enhancing the manufacturing of the production of oil and gas, and how this production can lead to data storage, collection, mining, and the reusing of data, and how this can actually lead to better the future of oil and gas industry. And I would like to say we've come to the end of this today's segment, and I hope this will have benefited some people. And if you have any question, just drop your question and information on beneath the video. Thank you.